This interview with Isabel Mendenhall, Isabel Mendenhall, is recorded on Wednesday, November the 19th, 1997, at her home in New Westminster. The interviewer is Dick Ramsey. Today I am interviewing Isabel Mendenhall, president of the Vagabond Players of New Westminster. Isabel joined the Vagabond Players in 1980 and since that time has been prominently active on the stage and behind the scenes. In the past, she served as treasurer and recording secretary. Isabel is a graduate of Green River College in Washington State, majoring in drama and in speech. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you, Isabel, about the Vagabond Players. I'd like to learn about the background of this interesting troupe, that is, when it was organized and so on, and of course about its home, so to speak, where it presents its productions.
The Vagabond Players started back in 1937. There were 10 men and women who took part in this and got it going. They really had no home. They worked out of halls and schools and one of the churches, and because of this they gave themselves the name Vagabond Players. In 1951, the city donated the building to the Vagabond Players for their own personal use. It was one of the original buildings left from the Royal Agricultural Exposition, which is now called the P&E. The agricultural end of it used to take place in New Westminster, with the rest of it taking place in Vancouver. The building was built in 1909 and was moved to the site where it is now from an area over where the ice arena is now in Queen's Park.
Oh, that's very interesting. How many people would you say are in your group right now?
We average between 66 and 100 per season. We work on a membership type of thing. It's a seasonal type of program, and so people join and they pay a membership fee every year, and with that they're able to act or work backstage or partake in any activities, and we hope, being members, that they'll volunteer and do work on the stage and behind the scenes, and that way they can come and see all the shows for free.
So what would be the composition? Are there more men than women, or more women than men, or do you encourage youth to become involved in that type of thing?
Well, it kind of varies. We have all ages and all walks of life, actually. We have teachers and we have nurses, and we have realtors, we have all varieties. We have a lot of young people now we're trying to bring back in. It's been working quite well the last couple of years. We have brought summer theater back, and in that way it allows a lot of young people to direct or act or work lights, anything in theater that they might be interested. Of course, most people want to act, and so that's what they come out to do. I guess all age groups we have.
Yeah.
You know, probably end up with more women as usual.
Yeah.
And because unfortunately professional work has come into town over the last 12, 15 years, we don't always get as many, particularly men, as we used to.
Yeah. How many plays would you be able to do a year?
Well, normally we do about 4 a year. We do the fall production, we do a show through Christmas, we do a winter production in the spring. And like I say, we have started doing summer theater, which
Yes.
ends up being a lot of one acts that we make up, and that gives a broader range of acting and young people being allowed to direct.
Mm-hmm. Is any particular type of production the group favors more than another, or is it do they like doing heavy drama or comedy, or is it a combination of?
It's a combination. We try to make the season a little bit interesting by offering comedy, drama, sometimes children's plays, melodramas, as we're doing this year, and we used to do musicals, but we don't do them anymore. But we try to vary it throughout.
And I don't quite recall if you mentioned this, but do you conduct acting classes, this type of thing? Or,
no, we don't. We thought about trying it one time, but it's very difficult when everything we do is volunteer to get the time out of people. It's really difficult, as you know.
One of the things that is interesting in many groups, of course, is the way in which it's conducted or organized. I would assume that you have, besides auditions and practices and so on, you have business meetings. And you are now the president, and you were elected just recently, is that right? Do these go smoothly, or do you think the business meetings, where people voice their opinion about how things are?
Right. Depends on how many show up. The last few meetings have been very good. We have meetings the third Monday of each month for general membership. And then we used to have, the week before, we would have an executive meeting. But because membership was down so much, we kind of combine, except occasionally where we'll have an executive. But yeah, it gives everybody a chance to voice their opinions, and sometimes they're voiced pretty loudly.
What would be your interest mostly in the group? Are you interested? You went to drama school and speech. I'm sure you'd be interested in acting, but do you have interests in other areas? What is your chief interest, and what are there other areas of interest you have?
Well, my chief interest, of course, is acting. It's a lot of fun. It's a great release for me. You know, I'm a mother, and I'm a housewife, and I work in my husband's business. So for me, getting out and doing theater is just, it's a release. It's a nice thing to do, and I think a lot of people do it because of that.
You've given me a very complete description of this. I wonder if would you like to, or is it possible to talk about some of the trials and tribulations? Have you had good years and bad years?
Oh yeah, the last few years have not been that good. Like I say, with the Ford Center and a lot of the professional groups, and because of a lot of the TV and movie work in town, it's not only difficult to get actors out, but it's difficult to bring audiences out because they want a very quality, they want a show that's a quality show. They don't want to pay money to come out and see a bunch of amateur work. And unfortunately, because we have amateur or community theater in front of us, a lot of people think that it's very amateur, but actually the quality of work many times is extremely good. So you get good material for your dollar. Excuse me.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, well, quite a few years, I don't know if it was before 1980 or not, but there was a chap in New Westminster named Sam Payne, connected with drama and with this group. Are you familiar with that name?
No, he would have been way before my time,
before
I
your
think.
time. Yeah. Well,
we don't have too many old members left, unfortunately.
No.
They've all kind of...
Well, just an old man here reminiscing,
Yeah.
Have any of your people gone on to professional work?
Yeah, I don't know whether Raymond Burr ever did anything at our theater. I knew he grew up here in New West. Bruno Gerussi did work here at our theater.
Did he?
And there's a lot of people who have gone on into professional work in England, New Zealand, Australia, United States, and what. They might not be. Yeah.
Is that a fact?
Oh yeah, a lot of them go on and go on to acting schools, and some of them have gotten scholarships through the zone festivals and things like that. They haven't become big names that I know. I think Bruno Gerussi is probably the only one that I can pick at the top of my head, but there are, quite a few.
That's interesting. I know it has always had a very good reputation. The Vagabond Players has been, as a group, has been well known, and I've heard that many of the individuals who've been associated with it have been successful, but I didn't know the specifics about it. I was interested to hear about Bruno Gerussi. Well,
this is our 60th season, so yeah, we are one of the oldest.
60th season.
Yeah, we're one of the oldest community theater groups.
Yeah, of course, 1937. You mentioned
right.
60 years. Are you doing anything special to celebrate that occasion?
Well, we had a big send-off. We changed the name of our building to the Bernie Legg Theater in honor of one of our 43-year members who passed away this summer, who was a wonderful man and did a lot for our theater and theater in general in the community. So we started that off with a big bang with a lot of publicity, a big opening night where we had all the city council and anybody we could think of that, you know, could help promote our name, because things have dropped off over the years. We're trying to build up this year and publicize it as much as possible. So it started out very well for us. We had a wonderful show. We had wonderful audiences, so it has been a really good beginning season. Other than that, we're not really doing anything.
No.
But yeah, this is our 60th season, and I'm very proud to be part of that.
Yeah.
You know, Diamond
What a historic
Jubilee.
event. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very good indeed. I'm just trying to think of something else I might ask you right now. You've in a very short time, you've covered a lot of territory to the point. Is there anything you'd like to add that maybe I haven't?
Well, I'd like to say that anybody out there who has ever had any hankering to be on stage, to come on out and be part of community theater, because it's a wonderful way to meet people. It's just a wonderful way to be involved in your community. And it does open a lot of avenues for young people who are interested in acting or backstage work or costumes, lighting, to start that career off.
Yeah. Well, that's very good. I was going to ask you, make reference to a pamphlet you gave me, or the actual name of the theater, rather than the Vagabond Playhouse. It's now the
Bernie Legg Theater, home of the Vagabond Players.
Yes, that's the exact name.
Right.
The Bernie Legg Theater, home of the Vagabond Players.
And we changed that. That was voted on unanimously at our September 1997 meeting.
Well, thank you very much. You're sure there isn't anything else? We've got a lot of tape left here.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, we won a lot of awards.
Yes.
1949, we won Best Production at the Dominion Drama Festival, which was on the East Coast. We competed against French plays as well, and so they did very well. I guess that's not in. It's not around anymore, but Vagabonds used to win most of the awards in most of the festivals back in the 40s and the 50s and even up into the 60s, and were asked apparently not to partake because they were taking away all the awards.
Is that right?
So, and also just this last season, our play Ravenscroft won. We won 5 awards in the BC Zone Festival, and we won Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress in the, it was the Vancouver Zone Festival. We won 5 awards. In the BC Zone Festival, we won Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. Standing ovation and everything. They did a wonderful job, and so it's really helped to lift our reputation back up where it should be.
I see. Well, you know, it's interesting that you say that to the last. I didn't ask you that directly. I wanted to see if you'd come in with it. Let me say that you're a very modest person, and that means that you're very sincere, and I'm sure that you're going to have a successful time this year, and under your leadership as the president, I'm sure it's going to be, well, I at least hope very much. I'm sure it will be. Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, as a footnote, Isabel would like to say a few things about volunteers.
I just wanted to add that it's volunteers who make up our club and make our club what it is. And we've had some wonderful volunteers over the years, but I just wanted to add that this past year here, up to the present, it's just been wonderful. We've had the young people in summer theater who were just so open and helpful and full of energy. They just wanted to do everything and anything They painted gold trim on our seats. They cleaned up garbage and removed paint cans, and I mean anything they could think of to help. It was just wonderful to have all these young people. And then we had this wonderful donation from Dwayne Campbell, who's one of our longtime members. His father has a meat packing company, and through his father and Grimm's, they got these wonderful cabinets for us, and they're all set up down in our green room, and we store all our props in them now. And it's just neatened up the whole area, and I just can't say enough about the volunteers in our group and how wonderful they are.
Well, thank you very much. This is, again, I say, very, very interesting, highly informative, I'd say, and I'm sure that it's going to serve a very important role in the archives of our museum, because people who come across this and see that you've given an interview on the Vagabond players will certainly achieve a great deal from it. Thanks again.